And what I realized was with all of these inputs that we were getting, all of this information, we had been infected. And the infection that we caught was called the shiny new toy syndrome. And this happens constantly. I'll be honest, I've been reinfected with this over and over again. And I will be even more poignant that the times that I'm most susceptible to the shiny new toy syndrome are the times where I have the least amount of confidence, right? If things aren't working the way I wanted to, or I'm not sure what to do, it's very easy for me to just go way over here and then way over there, trying to like catch this idea. Oh, I saw them doing this and this is really hot right now. And it's easy to fall into that. And not to say that all advice that we get or certain inputs aren't good, but it needs to fit into a construct. It needs to fit into this plan. And that's what this entire presentation today is about the principles that are of success. So you can look out and see what's there and see, does this meet the criteria for how I know that I need to market my business? All right, so let's talk about the symptoms of the shiny new toy syndrome. All right, first off, it's hard to know what's working and what's not. So if you've ever been in that case where you're doing a bunch of stuff, but you're not really sure what's working, or if you do see some success, you don't know where it came from. If that's the case, then you may have the shiny new toy syndrome. This one's huge, and I'll be honest, I am so guilty of this. You see something, you get really fired up about it. You're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what we need to be doing. And you get all this energy around it, you go and execute, maybe you get a little bit of momentum, you do it for a little while, and then all of a sudden it fizzles. And then you're like, wow, we spent a lot of money on that. Or wow, we went really far and then never came. Well, why is that? No, that's because maybe something shinier came up, or we lack confidence in the thing that we were first going on. But this is a huge signal of shiny new toy syndrome. And the third step, which I see all the time, especially in bigger organizations, is that you have many things going on, right? You might be buying traffic, you got emails, you got landing pages, you got people making phone calls, but all of the activity is haphazard. It's not part of a cohesive plan. It's not part of a thread. It's just kind of, doesn't complement each other. And so these are the three major signs that I see for the shiny new toy syndrome. And, you may have experienced these in the past. And now think about it for a little bit. When this was the case, what was that initiated that activity? Why did it fizzle? Why didn't you pull through? And I'll be honest, some of those ideas that you had that were kind of half-baked or, kind of scattered a little bit, they might not be bad ideas. It just might be the way that we approached it. And I'll tackle that a little bit later on. The other kind of way to think about this is the belief that marketing success or business success is the byproduct of finding the winning lottery ticket. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is, if you believe that success is basically like, if I just got the right keyword or the right thing or got the right person to talk, then all of a sudden I would be successful. That's oftentimes a byproduct of the shiny new toy syndrome. That's a byproduct of not realizing, again, what I'm going to talk about in a little bit, that success is incremental. Success is a process. And so when we have the shiny new toy syndrome, we tend to think in terms of lottery ticket or the winning formula or the right, yes, if I could just dial that in. But that is definitely not going to be successful. Your business, your personal growth, your everything was not the byproduct of like just snap of a finger, I'm a success. No, it's a process. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about, is the right process to focus on in this presentation. Another way to think about this is the idea that tactics are oftentimes called strategies. And this happens all the time online. It's like, oh, well, what's your Facebook strategy? Or what's your this strategy? It's like, no, you're just teaching a tactic. You're teaching a particular way to execute on one small thing that's not part of an overarching strategy. It's just being tactical. And you can be tactically amazing. Like you could be tactically amazing at digging a hole and be digging completely in the wrong place, right? It doesn't, just because you have an aptitude to execute doesn't mean that it's going in the right direction to achieve the right result. And so we have to think first strategy, and that should dictate our tactics.